Hey everybody, good evening. We have a special edition tonight. Don't worry, we will still have Bottom of the Beaker in about an hour or maybe like shortly after this match ends, but I will be here tonight streaming the KAGI Top 8 Top Cut between JTrussell and BHawk. And it looks like they are waiting for me, ready to go. So thanks guys for watching. Some KAGI updates for you. This is the top 8 between JTrussell and BHawk. The winner will go on to play JDG, also of Sloppy Labwork. I was fortunate enough to win my round of 8, and I played June. So this match will round out the top 4 for KAGI. And just a quick look at the decks that we have here. JTrussell playing the General of Weekend Anime and Games, his local gaming store custom name deck, Grim Reminders deck, Double Curse Tomb, Curse of Forgetfulness. Let's see here. There's no Winds of Death. There is no Ecto Charge. There is no Key Abduction. So a bit of a different, Grim Reminders. This is for adaptive anyway. You don't want something too crazy. He's got a Mass Abduction, Dr. X, Target. Loyalty Implants could be good, and then his Untamed is, I think, where it's at. There's a double Haunting Witch, Ghost Tree, World Tree, Cauldron, Circle of Life, double Regrowth, but no key cheats here. So I guess you could call it a fair one. BHawk playing Vera of Heartchapel. Coda deck. It's a very high disruption deck, double life word. Got the Ember Imp as we see here on turn 1 going first. Vera of Heartchapel is going to go first every game. Also got a couple other disc creatures in Charette and Shaffles in the Terror. Double Seeker Needle with a Bad Penny. This is a deck that really likes to actually use the Bad Pennies with those Seeker Needles. And then over in Untamed, it's got the Grasping Vines, 2 of them that combo really well with the Shadows Customs Office. So this is very much a deck that's trying to disrupt the opponent's game plan, slow them down, win through a little bit of rush of its own. And so BHawk's second turn, he's going to go Dominator Bauble, discard Gateway, play the Charette, and control the weak JT back into Geistoid. The first turn for Geistoid, JT played a Junk Restoration to take the Red Death, and then he played Boo, and he discarded his creature Demo because he hit his limit with the Ember Imp. So JT actually passes the turn. They're playing really quickly here, and BHawk will come down with 2 Life Words and 2 Reaps, puts him at check already at the end of turn 3. BHawk, a very fast player. He knows what he's doing, knows his game plan. He's probably played this deck 1,000 times, and that's not an exaggeration. So, hey, what's up, Stunt Bunny Twitch? Amber Meaties, welcome to Cloggin. If you're just tuning in, there will be Bottom of the Beaker later. We are streaming a KAGI Top Cut game right now between 2 sloppy friends. And so JT comes out with the Brain Dart, Mass Abduction on the Ember Imp to get rid of that threat right now, archived. I think JT's probably going to keep that in his archives for quite a while. Comes out with a nice big Mars turn. Felix the Disintegrator, Red Death, Brash Grabber. So JT is very haunted, so his Red Death will ready. And BHawk, BHawk hasn't caught anything besides Dis yet, but BHawk is very careful about when to use the Life Words. So I wonder if he's going to use them here, or if he's going to save one for the right time. Alright, he will key charge, and he will pop a Life Word, so he's got that key. Felix the Disintegrator will not be able to do any damage here. He's got 0. 0 Amber for BHawk, but he's got a 1-0 key lead. And just take a look again at the General of Weekend Anime and Games. Double Regrowth in the Untamed, double Haunting Witch. So he is haunted already, and let's see what he booed earlier. There was a Circle of Life in there. The Cauldron was in there. The World Tree was in there. One of the Regrowths. No Haunting Witches yet. So JT's got some Haunting Witch rush coming. It will be inevitable. And so Red Death is going to fight, and then he's going to reap with the others here. See if he's got anything else to play along with this. Remember, he cannot play creatures this turn. Scoop up just for an Amber, so he checks at 10. So, BHawk has used his key cheat. He's going to go Shadows here. Old Bruno, Pawn Sacrifice to kill off a couple Mars creatures. Use the other Life Word, but JT will Forge. So, JT taking the lead now with Amber Count. Cannot play creatures again this turn. Those life words, I think this game, JT could be close to like 10 amber by this point with those haunting witches, and as soon as he gets a chance here, we're going to see a pretty big rush, I think, with those untamed. He just continues to discard creatures, not holding on to them, plays a Hallowed Eve Festival, captures 1 on the Red Death. Only gets to 5, so not at check yet. BHawk playing his other Grasping Vines just for a pip. Nature's Call and Witch of the Eye. So Witch of the Eye, interesting here. With the Nature's Call and discard, he's probably not going to be bouncing creatures, just because I think we're going to see a couple of Haunting Witches come down now. Unless he milled them last turn with that Hallowed Eve, which he milled 1, and he's not haunted anymore. So JT did shuffle. Haunting Witches aren't quite ready to do some damage. I'm not sure if I would have milled there if I were JT. I wonder if he could have just kind of held on a little bit to get the burst from the Haunting Witches. He is going to regrowth just for an amber, play his own Witch of the Eye, Haunting Witch, and discards came back wrong. Yeah. I don't know what he drew there. Maybe he was looking for something specific. Maybe he couldn't have gotten to the other Haunting Witch. But we are going to see a Bauble the Weak come out for BHawk. He's got the Dominator Bauble, the Witch, Control the Weak, force him into Geistoid. JT will get a second key, but if he doesn't have any Geistoid here, that is actually going to be game. He's got a creature, and he discards another one. So this is really dangerous right now for JT. The Bauble of the Week is very difficult to get off. Oh, and he's got a Dance of Doom to get rid of the 5 creature, which is going to Reap again, bring back the Control of the Weak, back to Geistoid, and unless he redrew a very good Geistoid card, this might be it. He just passes his turn. I think we're going to see a Bauble of the Week lockout. Oh man, it's been a while since I've seen that. And like I said, this Vera of Heartchapel is very much a disruption deck. It has lots of disruption, including this Control the Weak combo here. It does not do this every game, though. There's a lot of different lines that Vera can take, so this is pretty rare even for Vera to pull this off, and that's going to be check for key 3. And I think BHawk's going to take game 1 here, 3-2. He does. Well played to BHawk. And to JT, I wonder if, I don't know if there would have been a difference with the Haunting Witches and the milling. There may have been. He could have just perhaps been able to get to enough amber, even if he was locked out. But we'll have to ask JT about that later on Bottom of the Beaker, perhaps. And let's see here. Getting kicked out of the game. All right. So JT's going to go first. Vera of Heartchapel, the KAGI rule, if you're not familiar. The KAGI rule is that the deck that goes first in game 1 is going to go first in every game of the series. So it is no longer chosen by the person who lost the last game, which means that when you're going to bidding for game 3, you know which deck is going to go first, which will affect your bidding. So looks familiar. JT going to go with the first turn Ember Imp, just like BHawk did last game. Mass Abduction with a damage pip, very good. This looks all too familiar. So the Ember Imp is going to be archived in BHawk's archive, going to stay there for a bit. Couple Mars creatures, couple discard Sloppy pips there. Pretty good start, I would say, for BHawk. Not going to ready that Red Death, though. JT's just going to play a couple of Dis artifacts. Those are going to be good to have. They might get bounced sooner or later. Well, they won't get bounced with the... I don't think there's any hard R in here, actually. Or soft R in the general. There is not. So, just going to see BHawk play a Boo on himself. No, he's going to play it on JT. Interesting. All right, so he was able to Boo the Key Charge, the Bear Flute, which is a good way to reshuffle the deck with it. One of the Life Words, which is great, and the Shaffles and the Witch of the Eye. So, a pretty solid Boo. It hit the Customs Office, which we didn't see the Customs Office last game. There's a few, actually there's like 6 artifacts here in the general of Weekend Anime and Games. So we're not going to see any value from the customs office yet. JT's got some pips. He's got a Dust Pixie, Grasping Vines for value, and BHawk's going Geistoid. He's probably going to purge that Dust Pixie, and he's going to purge the Disc Creature Boiler along with it. Plays out a Cursed Tomb. Okay. I don't believe there is very much capturing in Vera. There is the old Bruno, but I think that's, well, and there's the Charette. So that's pretty much it for the captures over there. So the Cursed Tomb here could be doing some damage, could be purging some things here that maybe JT will want later, but let's see here. The Silvertooth's just going to reap, and the Bad Penny comes out as well. So if there is a way for BHawk to kind of wipe the board here, it's going to purge quite a bit. I don't know if he has any real creature control like that, though. He's going to go Untamed, so looking at Untamed, there is pretty much no creature control out of hand in the Untamed. He's not haunted yet, so he's going to regrowth. He's going to probably purge the Bad Penny. Nope, he's going to bounce the Bad Penny because there's no Secret Needle yet. Bring back the Haunting Witch. I don't think he can get haunted here. Oh, he discards the Ghost Tree to do it. Okay, so he's going to get some value out of the Haunting Witch now. And the Witch of the Eye coming down. Circle of Life to give both players 2. And that's going to give JT First Blood with a key. I think we might see him go Shadows here. This is a really good opportunity to fight with the Dodger, purge the Haunting Witch, which is what he will do, and steal 1 in the process. Gotta wonder if he's going to fight with old Bruno into the Witch of the Eye as well. But maybe he doesn't want to give those. Oh, he's going to Lights Out. Alright, what's he going to Lights Out? Probably going to guess the Red Death and the Witch of the Eye. Yeah, that's what he does. Okay, another Dodger. There's the Penny again, and just a couple Reaps. Alright. Very good turn there from JT with Vera, because he's got a big Shadows board now that I'm not sure how easily BHawk can handle. The Grim Reaper will probably purge something here. We see the Curse of Forgetfulness come out. Yeah, Barsidius, welcome. There is some sloppy infighting, as we call it. This is the KAGI Top Cut. BHawk took game 1, 3-2, with his deck Vera, and JT playing Vera now, off to a slight lead. We are going to see BHawk do a little bit more purging. He's going to have the old Bruno capture 1 from itself, and what's he going to deal the damage to? This is tough because the Shadow Self is perfectly placed between the 2 Dodgers, so any damage that goes to the Dodgers will be going to the Shadow Self instead. And he's going to Reap with the Grim Reaper to purge, probably a Dodger, and probably the Abductomatic. Yeah, that's right. So he handles the board a little bit. Bad Penny went back to hand. He decided not to purge the Bad Penny. So with the Secret Needle out, JT gets a little extra value just from going back into Shadows here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's got, okay, so he's going to go Dis instead. He's going to tax him. But JT's got a couple more Shadows left, including another, let's see here. Probably the Pawn Sacrifice is still in his deck. Dominator Bobble is going to fight with the Dodger for some more stealing. So he's not going to tax. He's actually going to hold BHawk off a key with that steal. Drops a Life Word. Hecatomb for a pip, and then Charette coming down. So BHawk not on key, obviously, and JT's on check for key 2. And he has to pass the Geistoid turn due to the Control the Weak, which I missed. So there was a Control the Weak in there as well. And JT's going to go Shadows to Reap out, get the check, play the Penny, play another Silvertooth. And he's going to ping the Penny, so he's going to get up to at least 8 here. So, is Coda deck strong versus this Grim Reminders? Play the penny again. Like I said, this is one of the few decks that actually wants to play the bad penny. Interesting. Playing the pawn sacrifice for a pip. And he's going to kill his shadow self and purge it. So he really wanted to get that extra pip in. And so there's a life word. So capturing is not an option here for BHawk. He can't play any creatures. Going to go Untamed, which I think has no Amber control in it. So just discard, play Regrowth, and that's going to be game. So Coda on top of Grim Reminders, 2-0. So they're going to go bidding now. I think it's a decent bid. So I think it's going to go at least 4, is my guess on Vera. Let's see, they got disconnected. We'll see. I'm thinking 4 or 5 is probably the bid. And Vera will go first, so that might actually push it to the 5. You know, going first, you definitely want... You're okay to like shed an extra chain going first. So I think I might be seeing around 5 is my guess. What is this password that he's got going on here? I don't know what it is. JT's not in yet either. I'm guessing he's having the same issue. BHawk getting his legs mixed up. We got this though. Alright. Alright, so Vera here, pretty good in the matchup. Let's see where they go. My guess was about 5. We'll see if they do any skip bidding either. They're just going to go up one at a time. JT will go to 3. BHawk at 4. Alright, BHawk lets him have it for 4. Or sorry, JT lets him have it for 4. So JT, I think, knowing the general, obviously, as his deck, he feels confident he can win this with 4. And maybe thinking the first turn Ember Imp really tilted the scales a little bit too much. So with some chains, BHawk may not be able to get a first turn or an early Ember Imp, some disruption like that. So I could see it. BHawk's going to go Untamed first. And just go with a Bear Flute. We didn't see that either the first 2 games, but it will give BHawk some ability to shuffle, which could come into play later if he's trying to find some key cards or get back his key charge, things like that. Pretty good card in this deck, actually. JT's going to go for a Regrowth on Witch of the Eye. Alright, BHawk going into Shadows, just lights out that Witch and put down a bad penny, trying to shed those chains. BHawk down to 1 chain now. So 4 chains is pretty small. It goes quick. We're at the end of turn 2, and BHawk's just got 1 more chain left to shed. But he has been slowed. He hasn't had any dis yet. We saw dis early the first 2 games. And this being a heavy disruption deck, you wonder if JT's maybe able to get a decent head start here. This is one of his last chances, so we want to see a good turn from JT for his ability to kind of take advantage of those chains that were put on Vera. JT either thinking on the Mars or I got disconnected. I do tend to get disconnected quite a lot in TCO in this computer. Not sure why. Usually for a long pause like this, I have to think that I got disconnected. Made it through the first 2 games. Not anymore, though. All right. Missed a little bit of action like I thought, so JT went Mars, played the Red Death to kill the bad penny, discards a Shadis, and then plays Felix. BHawk going with a Nature's Call, so he's able to find his Untamed Disruption this game. Discard Save the Pack, and then JT coming down with the Energy Vampirism. A Boo on himself. Grim Reaper to purge the Witch of the Eye, so there will be no Bobble of the Week this game from Vera. And Curse Tomb just for the Amber Pip, and it purged itself. And we have the Grim Reaper purged as well, so... Alright, so JT went Mars, Deep Probe on Shadows, and was able to hit Bad Penny, Silvertooth, and Dodger, so that's a big hit right there. Red Death, and Felix again, Abductomatic. BHawk going Dis, Charette, Control the Weak to put JT back into Untamed. Just plays a Haunting Witch for 1. And then BHawk comes down with the rest of his Shadows that did not get discarded. Old Bruno, Shadow Self, Secret Needle. So, caught up now. JT's going to go back to Mars. He's got his active Red Death. He's got a Felix the Disintegrator. So this game going a bit slower. We're not seeing like the rush, and we're not quite seeing the disruption from Vera. I think at this point I'm giving the edge to the general here. We're going to see Felix erase at least 3 amber. Unless I got disconnected again. Son of a gun. Okay, no I didn't. There's a Dr. X. Gain 1 with the Haunting Witch. Target. Going to archive. Let's see what he archives here. A Deep Probe. Okay. Probably looking for Untamed creatures next. There's a Dust Pixie in there still. Felix is going to erase BHawk's Ember Total. I'm guessing we're going to see Red Death fight probably the Shadow Self. Or the Dodger, I guess. Going to go with the Dodger, okay. Gain an Amber, draw a card. Reap with the Abductomatic. And scoop up on Haunting Witch and the Charette. So that means that, let's see here, JT does shuffle, so he's not haunted anymore for that Haunting Witch. But he's got 11 amber, huge head start. BHawk's going to play a Life Word, Gateway, Shaffles, Ember Imp. So there's the Ember Imp. JT's already on check for key 2, though. Life Word is not active yet. He just played it. It's a good reset for BHawk, but it feels late with JT already up 1 key, 7 amber. BHawk still not really threatening for key 1. We're possibly going to see a Deep Probe here on Untamed. But yeah, does he have... He needs a Mass Abduction as well to get rid of that Ember Imp. I think he would have gone already into Mars if he had it. So perhaps a tough call here. He's going to go Geistoid. Junk Restoration, get back the Boiler. The Boiler might be it here if he has another damage pip. He will return the Boiler. He will discard it. Does he have any damage pips now? He does. So Hallowed Eve has a single damage, was able to get through the Ember Imp, so that's kind of a... JT kind of dodging a little bit of a bullet there. He didn't lose too much tempo from that. BHawk is able to go Untamed here, but he's got no Amber control in the Untamed. JT's got 9 Amber with a key already. And a Curse of Forgetfulness out against BHawk. So he discards the key charge. You have to think he does not want that purged, so he's going to put the Vigor on top of it. Grasping Vines, perhaps on the Curse. Yep, he's going to return the Curse. Okay, and then he's going to Bear Flute to shuffle. Alright, so JT's got a second key. BHawk's still not in check for key 1. And I think we're going to see the Deep Probe on the Untamed here. I'm pretty sure there's still a Dust Pixie in there. I could be wrong. I could have missed it. But if you're JT, you probably want to get rid of that Dust Pixie. But that Shaffles on the board is also pesky. I'm not sure if he has the Mass Abduction or... Well, he didn't shuffle yet, so his Scoop Up... He did shuffle, actually, earlier. He could have Scoop Up here. He could have the Mass Abduction. He's going to call Dis on the Deep Probe, and he's going to hit an Ember Imp and a Charette. Wow, so BHawk redrew the Ember Imp right away. And despite only 4 creatures in Dis, he goes Dis anyway, and he hits it. He is going to Mass Abduct the Shaffles, play a Loyalty Implants, discard the Brash Grabber. Interesting. Wow. That was a heck of a choice there in Dis. He probably saw the value in making sure that he hit the Ember Imp if it was there. There was not a Dust Pixie, so... I must have missed it. He must have had the Dust Pixie milled or something earlier. BHawk finally gets to check. What's up, Mooseman Dude? This is everyone's favorite Adaptive League, KAGI. This is game 3. The Coda deck, Vera of Harchapel, won both of the first 2 games. BHawk took it for 4 chains here, and he is down right now quite a bit. He's in check for key 1. JT, though, is haunted again. He's going to regrow on probably the Haunting Witch, yeah, and he's going to burst quite a bit here. So there's 1 Haunting Witch, takes BHawk off check. There's a second Haunting Witch. This is probably going to do it. Came back wrong on another creature, maybe the Witch of the Eye. He'll do the target. So the target's interesting. So the target's going to be power -2. So it is going to get to archive something. He will gain the Amber for it, but it will also die to the came back wrong. He gets the 10. BHawk playing a Full Moon. I don't think there's going to be anything here. He can maybe forge a key if he had redrawn into his key charge, but that's it. A 3-0 win for jtrussell here. He's going to go on to the top 4. Really convincing win. A very different game than we saw. The 4 chains weren't much. I think what we maybe saw was the Ember Imp having a very big impact in the game and the disruption really coming to the forefront in the first 2 games, and JT kind of betting on that not happening again. And it really paid off. He won pretty handily there, 3-0. I don't think either of them would blame the chains. I think this was definitely kind of just, the disruption didn't come, and then Grim Reminders, as we all know, can do some pretty crazy things like that. This was a 10-turn game, and BHawk didn't get to a key, so this is Keyforge sometimes. We saw two really close games actually, and then all it took was 4 chains, and the game was totally flipped on its head. So that's going to do it for now. So for you guys, I know Wednesday night is the bottom of the beaker slot. We're going to be back in about half an hour for the normal time for bottom of the beaker. Stick around for that, please. We will drop. JT's going to do the actual streaming from that end, so we are going to disconnect. I hope you guys enjoyed the KAGI special. I don't do this much, but happy to cast some sloppies in the top cut for KAGI. So I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And we'll see you at the bottom of the hour pretty soon for bottom of the beaker. Thanks, everyone.